Bill, we pride ourselves on being a finely tuned outfit over here, and so my sincere apologies on being late this morning. Unacceptable.
No problem. No problem at all. I'm just sitting here watching some film and drinking my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so absolutely no problem.
What time do you, normally during the season, what time are you up?
I usually get up between 5 and 5:30 and try to get in. We practice in the morning, so we meet and practice in the morning, so I try to get in there pretty early to get ready to go.
When working for Bill, did you ever beat him in, or is it accurate that he would sleep at the facility?
Yeah, I would say I never beat him in, and I would say even a better question is Dante Scarnecchia was the earliest. We would, so at the Patriots, you had to get in there early because we had a lot going on in the morning. So, if you got in there at 4:30, you'd put your hand on Dante's hood of his car and it would be freezing cold. So he had been there for probably all night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Dante's a legend.
I think the policy over there now is you can sleep in. It doesn't really.
Remote.
Yes, you can work remote. You can work remote if you want.
Do we underrate how much of an impact guys like? We obviously know Bill's gone, and that is a major story and should be. But how much does the loss of Dante Scarnecchia mean? All the issues we see with this offensive line. How much of that was Dante's ability for so long to coach guys up?
Well, I would say that, Curtis, when I was there, my first stint there, that was one of the best coaching staffs I've ever worked on. We had Dante, we had Josh, Ivan Fears was an amazing coach. We had Chad O'Shea, Nick Caserio did a lot of coaching back then. But Dante, when I first got there, he taught me a lot. I had to draw his blocking sheets. I had to. My first spring there, I had to, I sat in the back of the O-line meeting rooms and, listened to him teach the run game and the protections. And I owe Dante Scarnecchia a lot. He was instrumental in my career and teaching me a lot about O-line play.
Bill, as long as we're talking about the NFL before we talk about BC and college, how does the NFL fix Tom Brady weighed in on it this week? We talked about it a lot. How do they fix the quarterback slide situation based on what happened with Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I think that – so I don't want to be too long-winded here, but when I was in the NFL, I was very fortunate to work on what they called the Madden subcommittee, which was like a committee of head coaches that, recommended rule changes, up the scale to the guys who were really in charge of the league. And so I think one thing that we found was I just think, Greg, that more coaches need to be involved in the rule changes and the rules.
Yeah.
Because John Madden used to tell us back in the day, the guys that were in charge of the rules were Vince Lombardi and Don Shula and Chuck Noll. Those guys made the rules of the game because they were in the game. They spoke to the players. So now you look at it now and look, the quarterbacks have to be protected. They're the highest paid guys. They're the people. They're the reason why people watch the game. I get it, but there is a point that Tom's making that the slide is a very, very judgmental deal, and this guy's coming in to make a tackle. He's going full speed. He's not really sure if the guy's going to slide or not because you watch Drake May, he doesn't slide.
Right.
He's a tough guy. He doesn't slide all the time. So it's very hard to make those split-second decisions when you're running a 4.3 40 to try to tackle a guy. So, I think Tom's got a point there.
Yeah.
Bill, when you start to look at just kind of where you ended as a team and you get ready for, to watch the SEC championship game this week at SMU, you played them pretty tough. Is that something you look at and you go, okay, we can play with these teams and obviously have an opportunity to compete for an ACC championship because of what we were able to do against the team that is going to be playing in and is going to be a favorite in the ACC championship game?
I believe so, Wig. I think every year is different, right? So once the bowl game's over, we have to doing like what we call an after action review on everything that we're doing here, soup to nuts. But like we've got to, understand that like in a lot of these games, close doesn't count. Like I get it, but we are very close. Like we went to SMU, we played a good football game. We turned the ball over too much, gave up some big plays, and obviously they won the game. But they're 11-1, and they should be in the playoff. You look at Syracuse beating Miami, last week. We beat Syracuse here at Boston College. I mean, so we feel like we're on the right track, but every year is different. You know what I mean? So we've got to regroup and get ready for next year once the bowl game's over. But I do feel like we're on the right track. I have a feeling about that.
I want to see if you side with Wiggy or Curtis on this debate, which has been ongoing all week on the show. Where do you stand on planting the flag?
I mean, I don't, Greg, I just think that these I just want to be like honest as I can about this. These rivalry games, look, rivalries are awesome, right? Awesome. I was in the Georgia Tech rivalry. I coached in the Alabama-Auburn rivalry. They're incredible, but they're like way over exaggerated. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you played 12 games. When I was at Ohio State for that month, I was like, Ryan, we have 11 games other than this game. Like, we've got other important games. We've got to go to Oregon. We've got to go to Penn State and play these games. And I think like I said, it's a hard thing. So the flag planting, I mean, okay, it's whatever it is, but like, what does that mean? You won the game, shake the guy's hand, walk off the field, get on your bus, and head back to your school. I mean, great for you, and here we go. I just don't. I'm not into all that flag planting. I think that's like a bunch of BS. But that's just me.
You and Wiggy agree.
Hey, I think it's stupid. Stupid. Like you said, you won the game. Shake the guy's hand. If you don't want to shake hands because they were talking trash, so be it. I think it's just
if it's stupid, then why would you fight over it?
It leads to fighting.
The stupid part is the punching.
Right. The stupid part is the reaction to a flag.
Let me just say this real quick. I think like for Wiggy and I, like professional football, when the game's over, you guys see it, right? The coaches shake hands. Everybody goes over and shake. There's a respect, right? It's a very violent sport. You're putting a lot on the line when you play in that game. And so, like, that's really what it is. I noticed that right away when I went to professional football that, like, there's emotion. Like, don't get me wrong, but, like, at the end, hey, shake hands, boom, great job. See you next time we play it. That's really, to me, what it should be about. But that's just me.
Well, Bill, congratulations are in order, too, because you get the ACC Defensive Player of the Year on your team with Donovan. I feel like BC gets disrespected a lot in college football, especially within the ACC. I watched the video of his mom telling him that he won ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and he said that it was on his goal board after his sophomore year season. So how much have you seen him grow as a player, but also how proud are you to have a player on your team get that type of accolade within the conference?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, he struggled last year, right? He's a great player, and he was one of the first guys I met with when I got the job. And I'm very proud of Donovan. He's a captain. He came in and worked very hard. He never wavered. He's played for a couple head coaches here. He came in. He bought into what we were talking about. He loved the defense that Tim Lewis brought, and he went and played. I mean, this guy, Courtney, like I've only coached 2 defensive players of the year in my time, J.J. Watt in the NFL and now Donovan here in the ACC. And, those guys dominate games. They take over games, and that's what he did in many of these games. I mean, he literally won us 2 or 3 of the games that we won, with the way that he rushed the passer in critical moments or even chased the run down, caused turnovers. The guy took over games. And so, I think he's a great testament to what BC is all about. He's a great student. He's an awesome guy on campus. Everybody has great respect for him. So I'm happy for him.
Self-proclaimed draft nerd Scheim has some sort of follow-up on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bill, because as the crappy teams in the NFL get closer to the end of the season, we start looking ahead to the draft. And one of the guys who I'm hearing a ton about is, in fact, Donovan Ezeiraku. And I'm curious what your response would be to the nerds like myself who will look at him, especially come combine time, and be like, well, he doesn't really meet those normal height weight parameters. Like, kind of how is he going to overcome that in the NFL?
Scheim's a big height weight guy.
Yeah, big time. Height weight speed. That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, Scheim, there's some, you have a point in some ways, but I think it depends on, the defense that the team is playing, that's drafting Donovan. I think he's a 4-down defensive end that can rush off the edge of the defense. He might not be the tallest guy, but he's got great length. His arm length is excellent, and he's got excellent explosion and acceleration to the quarterback. He also is very strong. He squats a ton. He can set the edge of the defense. He's not a 3-4 outside linebacker like what we're used to here in New England, right? Like Mike Vrabel, Willie McGinnis. Like, that's not what Donovan is. He's a 4-down defensive end that can also play at the second level. He's a versatile player. He ran our punt protection with Joe Marinaro, so he'll be a special teams guy. I think the guy drafted by the right team, will have a very, very successful career. He's also very smart, a very good teammate, and cares about the team. So if you're a 4-down team, you'd be crazy not to draft Donovan Ezeiraku.
I don't think, have I asked you for anything? I mean, short of maybe some merch or something. I don't think I've asked you for any favors.
No, sir. You have not asked me for any favors. No.
Could we have one? Scheim just reminded me. Can Scheim design one play for next season?
Oh, God, we got to win.
But just one play, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as long as it's like a legit play with 11 guys on the field and not like some triple flea flicker, like,
No trick plays.
Play.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Would it be an offensive or defensive play? Scheim?
An offensive.
All right. Introduce
so
it in the
pick-
spring game.
Yeah, we'll introduce it in the spring game, and then we'll pick some other, less meaningless game, and
See if it makes it.
and we'll throw it in. All right, and we'll call it like the Scheim or whatever. We'll have some sort of a gadget name for it.
Does he have the play in mind? Do you know what the play is, or are you just going to design it in the off season? Like, do you already know what the play is?
No, I have an idea. I want to cook something up for you. I'll make it good. Don't worry, I promise. I'll put plenty of effort into it.
You have no idea.
No, I have an idea.
It has to be an explosive play, whatever it is.
We got you.
We could call it the mashed potato based on.
You guys should have Ernie Adams on this show, Greg, at some point, because he used to have the greatest trick play suggestions. He would call it. He'd say, but you should put in the cross-country play this week. And so it'd be like some crazy play with all kinds of motion and unbalance. And invariably, we would run it. But,
right.
Yeah, you guys should have him on there. He could give Scheim some good advice on some good gadget plays.
I would love to hear what what was your answer? Like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Right. Definitely, we'll throw that in there.
Scheim's a derivative.
Yeah, I mean he's Bill's best friend, so we were like, sure, Ernie, whatever you need, man.
Scheim's play is a derivative of the annexation of Puerto Rico from Little Giants. He'll have that ready for you. By the way, Ty Law told us he knows what Bill's doing, but he won't tell us. Do you have any? Does Bears whispered to you at all about? Is it the Jaguars? You had any scuttlebutt on Bill's future?
I asked Bears if he had heard from Bill the other day, and just hasn't heard from him that much. So Bill's busy.
Yeah,
I mean, Bill is a very busy guy. So I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea. I would imagine. Look, the guys. Guys. He's 14 wins away. I think it is from Don Shula's record. I mean, I think that's a massive record in sports, and so. I would imagine he'd probably want to coach again, and whoever gets him, a refreshed Bill Belichick, that'd probably be pretty dangerous in the NFL.
All right, Bill. Wiggy?
I wanted to say congrats on Big Seymour's kid, right? I see he committed with you guys?
Yeah, London Seymour, from down in Atlanta. Richard's awesome. He was great, and London's about 6'5", 305, plays defensive line just like his dad did, and we're excited about him. He'll probably be here. I think he'll officially visit in December and sign in February.
Didn't Larry Ellison's wife write a check for $1 million to make that happen, or is that just Michigan?
No.
You need a Larry Ellison is what you need, Bill.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Rob Hale.
I
or maybe
there's
Ernie
gotta
Bach.
be plenty
Maybe
of
we can get
BC guys that have
not
stuff to the
really.
gills. Really?
No. I mean, look at Curtis.
Look at Curtis's dad.
Yes.
Curtis. Oh yeah.
Curtis's
All right.
dad can
I
write the
feel like
check.
Curtis, Bill, you might agree with me. Curtis is, when it comes to being tough or smart, he's a bit of an outlier at Boston College. I don't know if you know, if you would agree.
Jeez.
I didn't. I didn't look. Look, I got to tell you guys, I did not say that. That's not what I said.
Bill, are you
That's
sure?
not what I said.
You didn't say that about your former quarterback?
No, I
Okay.
said no. I did not say that. I support Tommy Castellanos, and I did not say that. I said that 99% of our team is staying with us. That's what I said.
Okay.
And so, that was brutal. That was brutal. That was not what I said. But it is what it is. So.
Okay, but
I've
would
been doing
agree.
this a long time. I've been misquoted very, very, very many times. Been misquoted a lot, so it's my fault.
All right, but you would agree that Curtis is neither tough nor smart.
Right.
No, I would not agree. He's a BC guy.
God, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Neshoba Regional doesn't even recognize Greg's existence.
All right, Bill O'Brien. I think we're going to have you on the rest of the season, right? Rest of the NFL season, because you're awesome.
Absolutely.
All
A
right.
lot of fun. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, there
Thanks,
you go.
Bill.
That's Bill O'Brien.